Bill Neville retaining his place. Walter Smith was hoping his side could halt United's Premiership charge. So it's Everton against Manchester United. All the action coming up after this short break.
Everton kick off with an interesting start to the season. They've actually not lost in 10 matches in all competitions, 7 in the league, which is their best run in a couple of years, but they haven't yet scored at home this season. But Ferguson almost does with 14 seconds on the clock. What an incredible start! Well, they obviously want to bury the statistic of being the only side not to score at home this season. That was a magnificent save from Peter Schmeichel and a fiery start from Duncan Ferguson. Well, he's always a menace to Manchester United. Collins with a corner, Ferguson in again! And an easier catch for Peter Schmeichel, who's made 2 saves in the opening 40 seconds. Well, there was a slight doubt about Peter Schmeichel's fitness before the game. He missed a couple of matches with a stomach injury. Raymond van der Houw was in goal, but Schmeichel proving very early on that he's fully fit and at his very best. Not too many teams start like that against Manchester United. Everton paying little heed to the reputation of Alex Ferguson's side. Now Bakayoko, an unknown quantity to most, the Everton striker, but he has been scouted by Manchester United. They took a look at him last season with a view to bringing him to England. They decided against it. Everton got him. Neville to Scholes. Room for Philip Neville. Mr. Blomqvist playing on the left wing this afternoon. Ryan Giggs again out with a knock. The court. Craig Short preferred it right back to the smaller Alex Cleland, the former Rangers player. Everton with a very strong, tall back four. Bakayoko, who's in his 3 games turning into a little bit of a cult hero at Goodison Park. Materazzi seeking the speed of Cadamateri. Well, fizz pot of a player. Never quite know what to expect from the England under-18 international. Dwight York. Foul from behind by John Collins. Keane. Game has started at a lightning speed. Adrenaline pumping as it tends to do when it's a Merseyside and Manchester team up against each other. It's one of the few days when Liverpool fans do hope that Everton get a good result. Wes Brown, the latest youngster to be blooded by Alex Ferguson, keeps his place at right full-back. Philip Neville to Roy Keane. Blomqvist. After that energetic start from Everton, Manchester United just happy to play the ball around, slow the game down to a pace which suits their style. Brown. Scholes makes an excellent run, and he's onside. And Myra has to go to ground. And where was the Everton defence then? Scholes was quite clearly onside. He made an excellently timed run, and he was left by the whole of the Everton back four. Collins. Now ball. Bakayoko in behind Stam, who just enough to take the sting out of the ball. And a mighty throw from Schmeichel. Now Scholes. Stopped by Watson, and Short plays it back to goalkeeper Myra. There's hardly been any pause for breath in the opening 4.5 minutes of this game. Unsworth. Well, Everton quite clearly hoping that they can snatch a surprise victory against Manchester United. Out of the last 10 games, they've had 6 draws. At home this season, there have been 4 0-0 scorelines. Only Les Ferdinand has scored at Goodison Park for Tottenham Hotspur. This is Bakayoko. Ibrahima with a drop of the shoulder, turning Brown inside out. Wonderful skills from the Ivory Coast international. Plays it back to Collins. Now it's Ball, drop of the shoulder. You can tell by that shot is actually a naturally left-footed player. An excellent run from Bakayoko, taking himself past Brown on a number of occasions. He went backwards and forwards and came back again, and ultimately a disappointing shot from Michael Ball. Short. No holds barred challenge from Short and Scholes. It'd be difficult to decide which way the referee was going to give the free kick then. Craig Short, the first player to see a flash of yellow, becomes the 31st yellow card that Everton have received this season, more than any other team. And this was the crime he committed. A little bit too heavy-handed, or should we say heavy-footed, in his challenge on Scholes. Elsewhere in the Premiership, it's Derby County 1, Leeds United 0. Schnorr, the penalty scorer for Derby County at Pride Park. Another strong challenge, free kick taken quickly by Manchester United. It's Brown to Scholes. Good balance by Ball. He keeps the ball in play. Has Bakayoko speed ahead of him. He tries to utilise that, but well, the brick wall of Stam got in the way of Bakayoko. There's not a lot of harmony in the Manchester United defence. Roy Keane having a bit of a brawl with Peter Schmeichel. Everton take the free kick quickly, and that was a very nasty foul, and Keane was still smarting from a moment ago when he got pretty angry with his goalkeeper and took it out on poor old John Collins. Roy Keane, who's tried desperately to curb his temper this season, follows Craig Short into the referee's notebook. Wisely, Roy Keane walked away from the incident and calmed himself down after committing the foul. They're caught offside against Materazzi. In fact, there were 3 Everton players who'd crept into the no-go zone. Keane to Blomqvist. York makes the run. Cole to the left. That's where he was aiming. Keane. Blomqvist. Philip Neville on the overlapping run. He's found space. Has he got the pace to get to it? He was tracked all of the way back by Cadamatri. Yeah, a lot of little duels between players this afternoon. Cadamatri, who's generally an attacking player, will be asked to track back and keep a track of Philip Neville. Stam. Now Blomqvist. Beckham. There's the player screaming for it just out of picture on the right-hand side. Collins. Ball. Well, the ball was out of play. Scholes. Roy Keane, the United players should be fresh after being given a rest, most of them, for the game against Bury. This is Blomqvist. Cole is well to turn. Looks for Scholes. Plays it into York. Oh, great save, but not enough. Dwight York follows up and he scored again. Well, nobody realised that Dwight York was such a prolific scorer when Alex Ferguson paid so much money to sign him from Aston Villa, but he has an incredible instinct. The goal made by a combination of Cole and Scholes. York not the first time, but he rebounded with his 8th goal as a Manchester United player. Unselfish work by Scholes to lay on Dwight York. The old 1-2 makes it 1-0 to Manchester United. Everton reply with a long-range shot from David Unsworth. Brown. Beckham to Stam. Offside. Andy Cole. Andy Cole, clearly the partner that Dwight York prefers. Peter Schmeichel just slowing things down, allowing the Everton adrenaline to settle. Brown goes to the ball with Unsworth. Keane to Scholes. Now Gary Neville. Jesper Blomqvist drops the shoulder, fires in the cross, and emergency action taken by Everton's player coach Dave Watson. By far the veteran of the side, will soon be 37 years of age. Now, which Manchester United player do you prioritise in a situation like this? Cole on the line, Stam just inside the 6-yard box. Smattering of red and white shirts on the edge of the area, but Everton defend well. Philip Neville. Beckham. Fouled. Referee was going to allow the play to continue. First collision between Michael Ball and David Beckham, who could yet be England colleagues. There's a strong lobby for Ball to be called up to the England senior squad. Michael Ball, I don't think, was booked for the challenge, and I think it's for walking away from the referee. Wasn't the worst challenge you're going to see this afternoon, but a little bit of immaturity gets him into trouble. Beckham, almost worth having a shot from out there. Fires it in! Oh, and what, 3, 4, 5 paces out maybe? Dwight York just got his head under it. Well, again, it was very slack marking in the Everton defence. There were 2 security guards trying to keep a track on Dwight York, but he sneaked through them. Ball. Bakayoko. David Unsworth. Schmeichel comes and stays. Ferguson nods it down, but can't get it into the path of Bakayoko. The game between Derby County and Leeds United. Derby, remember, took the lead. Well, Leeds have just equalised through the Dutchman Robert Molenaar. Here it's still 1-0 Manchester United. Blomqvist to Scholes. Slip from Roy Keane, which amuses the Merseysiders, but doesn't gain Everton any momentum. 20 minutes gone. Confirmation, Everton 0, Manchester United 1. Promise of plenty more goals. Materazzi. Ferguson. Materazzi to Bakayoko. Collins. The court been to the ball by Blomqvist, now it's Scholes. Cole. Some fearsome challenges from both sides, and going through a pack of arms and legs there was Roy Keane. He's punished again by the referee. Blomqvist took Decourt's left leg, Keane took his right. It's down. Now Beckham. Philip Neville. After an excellent start from Everton, United now in control of the game. York to Cole, wonderful move, but an excellent tackle from David Unsworth. Beckham. Keane, almost worth having a shot from that distance, which he does. Crashes off the head of the Italian Materazzi. Brown. Beckham. Allowed space to work into, but for once overhit the ball. Hasn't yet got fully into his stride, David Beckham. Powerful play from Craig Short. Ferguson. Collins with David Unsworth overlapping. Ball hit far too early by Unsworth, which has left Everton a player short in defence. York to Keane. Intelligent play by United. Great ball by Keane. Blomqvist turns Cadamatri with ease. He wasn't aiming for Beckham, but not a bad man to find the ball. Great ball from Beckham, and, well, combination of Everton players combined, and it's a goal. Unbelievable. Goodison Park cannot believe it. Well, the most ungainly of collisions at the far post. There was a delay. Nobody could quite believe the ball had gone into the net. Well, a dramatic own goal from Craig Short. Watson and Short went for the ball, and it was a comedy of errors. What an incredible goal. The whole of Goodison was silenced. The ball ended up in the net, and nobody could quite believe that Everton had allowed it to slip through like that. Collins. Well, after an excellent start by Everton, with a quarter of the game gone, they find themselves 2-0 down at home. Goodison Park was just stunned into silence. There's a certain foreign influence in the Everton lineup this season, with Dacourt and Bakayoko, fluent French speakers. Dacourt a Frenchman, Bakayoko playing in France and the Ivory Coast. Collins fluent in French as well. Materazzi, the Italian defender. The way they defended, they need Esperanto. There's a chance of a third. It's Unsworth. He doesn't quite get a touch to the ball. Beckham. Tester for Myra, who watches it drop onto his crossbar. It's a very unstable performance by Everton. It was a hit and hope cross, really, from David Beckham, but Myra left it and then didn't seem to know where it was landing. Little like the second goal. The court to Ferguson. Now Cadamatri. It's a rare run from Cadamatri at Philip Neville. Roy Keane comes back and, well, I was going to say helps out, but he was more of a hindrance, and he's fallen out with the referee's assistant. He'll have to bite his tongue because he's already been yellow carded. Roy Keane, it was an untidy challenge. Some of the Everton fans thought it was worthy of a yellow card, which would have been his second and resulted in a red. Mr. Jones, the referee, decides free kick is suffice. Now this is where Everton are at their most dangerous, with Unsworth and Materazzi and Ferguson and Short, all 6 foot plus. Up it goes, Ferguson's there! Now Everton stand a chance. A classic Everton goal, a classic Duncan Ferguson goal. One-dimensional, but it does work. Well, there was nothing flamboyant about it. Into the area, and the strongest man won the challenge. And it needs some strength to hold off Roy Keane, the man assigned to marking Duncan Ferguson. Shrugged him aside. Few players do that. Everton backing with a chance. Duncan Ferguson 1, Manchester United 2. And the Everton fans can stop sitting on their hands and give their team some support. Only Everton's second goal at home this season. Everton's first goal in the Premiership. They've been waiting a long, long time for that. Well, some of the games they've been served up at Goodison Park have been disappointing. Remember, they've endured 4 0-0 draws and a 1-0 in the 5 games here. Only 1 goal all season, and they've seen 3 in the opening 30 minutes. Duncan Ferguson, who's by far the most favourite player of the Everton fans, wears that captain's armband with a lot of pride, and scored Everton's first goal in almost 250 minutes of Premiership football. Michael Ball. Game has a slightly different dimension now. Ball looking for Bakayoko, who's onside. Schmeichel comes a long way. Bakayoko goes down. There's a long, lingering look. To be fair to Bakayoko, he didn't appeal for the penalty. He went past Schmeichel, come a long, long way. And Bakayoko quite clearly slipped on the lush green Goodison surface. The referee's going to book Bakayoko. I think that may have had something to do with the reaction of Peter Schmeichel, to be fair, because Bakayoko went down, didn't plead, and something's been lost in translation. Bakayoko speaks about 6 words of English, gets his first yellow card in the week he scored his first Everton goal. Well, the game has all of the elements. Now the fans are fired up, and so are Everton. Short, overhit the cross, it was almost a shot as Schmeichel was creeping to his near post. Stam. A bit of the polish has gone from the Manchester United game. Bakayoko can't get to the ball. Kick from Schmeichel, skims over the head of Materazzi, calls away, and Myra just sweeps up. Ibrahima Bakayoko must wonder what on earth this Premiership is all about. He made his debut in the derby against Liverpool, and then here against Manchester United he was booked for allegedly taking a dive. Keane back to Schmeichel, who slips, and it's high into the air. Where it lands, nobody knows. It's Ferguson underneath. The court goes up with Keane. Her arms and elbows and bits of sinew everywhere there. There's some combination when Keane and Dacourt go together. Keane with a reputation as the hardest midfielder in England. Dacourt, the player who's being booked and red-carded more than any other player in the Premiership this season. The stubble on Roy Keane's chin took a bit of a beating then from the elbow of Dacourt. Ferguson up. Stam gets no direction or pace on his header. Bakayoko, back heel to Collins. There's Ferguson with a header. Oh, he's so close to a second. Well, much better football from Everton. Hit high, and again it was Duncan Ferguson who was the only player committed to getting to the ball, and it was a fraction away. When he's fired up, there are very few to match him. Duncan Ferguson is a sad loss to international football. He decided to retire from the Scottish national team after he didn't believe he got enough support from the Scottish FA relating to some off-the-field troubles he had, which resulted in him spending a term in jail. Roy Keane firing up the fans as if they needed it at Goodison Park. Keane collides with Dacourt. It's like a little tag team wrestling match down there between Keane and the eloquent Frenchman. Off the field, he looks like a visiting student to Liverpool University. Little round glasses, long overcoat. Looks like an intelligentsia. On the field is an angry player, bit of an animal at times. Watson's header. Dacourt goes up with Cole. Collins to Dacourt. His kind of game. Overhits the pass, but he's going to make the challenge. He was itching to have a go at David Beckham. Now it's Collins. Watson. Neville guides the ball out of play. Ushered all the way to the line by Danny Cadamatri. Manchester United been penned back into their own half of the field. Bad kick from Schmeichel. Materazzi to Ferguson. Unsworth. Looking for the speed of Cadamatri. Nice trick, though he didn't really mean it. Dacourt wants the ball off him. Dacourt. Again, the one player, the pinnacle of the Everton attack was Duncan Ferguson. Slightly overhit for the tall Scottish striker. Keane. Stam hits and hopes. Watson looks to his Norwegian goalkeeper, doesn't spot that York was nipping in behind him. Well, when Manchester United attack, there's always a chance given the sloppy defending by Everton. Unsworth. Ferguson. Stam nips the ball back. This is Cole. York, his only teammate in the centre. It's back to Beckham. Beckham eloquently tried to find Dwight York at the far post when the Manchester United fans were baying for a Beckham blast. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Classic English Premiership game. Ferguson up against Stamp. It's been 50-50 in terms of challenges been won between the two of them, but Ferguson will argue he got to the one that mattered to haul Everton back into the game. Great skill from Beckham. David Beckham, as he went past the Everton defender, then seemed to turn around in a showboat style and laugh at the Everton player on the ground. Took the ball past him, turned around and smiled, toyed with his defender. A little bit of added entertainment. Beckham's won a free kick for Manchester United. The referee looks more bemused than anybody. There's 5 minutes to go to half-time. Beckham to deliver. Manchester United with 8 red shirts in and around the area. Beckham went for the glory shot. He quickly runs back towards the halfway line. There were 1 or 2 angry reactions from the United players who'd sprinted upfield to try and get on the end of his free kick. But he has an excellent record in front of goal. In fact, all of his goals this season have come from outside of the area against Wimbledon, Barcelona, Leicester City. Cadamatri to Dacour. Short to Watson. Dacour. Everton playing the game at a sprint. Short can't get to the ball. Goal kick given. Well, Walter Smith has instilled a fighting spirit into the Everton ranks. Spent £20 million in his opening couple of months as manager to try and improve their situation. With him on the right-hand side, Archie Knox, who is formerly Alex Ferguson's assistant in his early days at Old Trafford. Dacour. Cadamatri. Collins. Oh, it took a bit of a tumble. The referee keeping the play flowing. Doesn't happen too often this afternoon. Now, a wave of red. Beckham. An early cross, or was it a shot? It was a huge disappointment again from David Beckham. To tighten his laces at half-time. Well, completely out of character from David Beckham. Still a mystery whether it was a shot or whether it was a cross. What do you put it down as? Blomqvist. Good skills from the Swede, but he runs into Olivier Dacour. Unsworth. Dacour. Oh, it's a bad-looking tackle by Gary Neville. He was, in reality, just missed time because Dacour had taken the ball away from him. Ill-timed at all. Rarely gets into trouble, to be fair. Goes into the referee's notebook. He went for the ball. He caught the Frenchman just below the shin pad. And with exactly 2 minutes to go to half-time, Everton have a free kick in a troublesome position. Falls for a left footer, and Everton have the exponent in Collins. Is taken quickly by Dacour. The element of surprise. He won the free kick, he took the free kick. I think most were expecting Collins to try his luck from 30 yards then. Instead, Collins is the corner taker. In go the heavyweights. Schmeichel stays in his line. York helps out defence. Cadamatri. Collins. Curving cross. Gary Neville with a not too sure header. Stam doesn't get any distance. Watson plays it back into the area. Beckham can't get it out. It's like a rubber ball in there. Cadamatri plays it in. Comes off the knee of David Beckham. And the trademark tackle from Olivier Dacour. A minute to go in regular time, plus 2 minutes of stoppage time to be added on. Meanwhile at Pride Park, Derby County, who took the lead, are now 2-1 down against Leeds United. Harry Kewell, the scorer of Leeds' second goal. Materazzi gets the faintest of touches on the ball. Cole. Beckham. Brown. Rather telegraphed his intended pass to David Beckham. Ferguson. Tom Collins, who's probably been the most disappointing player given his talent on the Everton team in the first half. Ball. Unsworth. Looking for Bakayoko. It's a cry of handball, but it came off the chest of Gary Neville. Manchester United increase the speed of play. Beckham. And usually again overhits the pass that three times in a row. Given the range of his passing today, I'm just wondering if David Beckham's lost one of his contact lenses. It happened last year to the Everton goalkeeper, actually, Thomas Myra, against Leeds United. Lost a lens and spent the back end of the game playing with one glove over his eye. Referees had a busy first half. There's about 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. Up goes Ferguson. Schmeichel launches one to York, and a pulsating first half comes to an end. Some may have said that it was a grand old fluke from Dwight York that gave Manchester United the lead in the opening quarter of an hour. Then they made it 2-0. It was a calamity of a goal with Craig Short putting past his own goalkeeper, but a typical Duncan Ferguson goal managed to bring Everton back into the game. They stand a very good chance, and Peter Schmeichel has had his work cut out. Ferguson had a shot in the opening 14 seconds. Expect Everton to come out all guns firing at the start of the second half. Half-time scoreline at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Alex Ferguson taking a seat alongside his pal Walter Smith for the second half. And it's Manchester United who kick off the second half, looking for only their second away win. Away from home in the Premiership this season. They start the second half at a pretty ferocious pace. Well, it was a tough decision then for the referee. Was that a penalty or was it a free kick to Everton? And Mr. Jones has given Everton the free kick, which is an interesting decision. Well, Blomqvist did collide with Unsworth, and some may have continued the play. Blomqvist was punished by the referee for that. Maybe it set the tone for the second half. It was pretty fiery over the opening 45 minutes. No love lost between Merseysiders and Mancunians. This is where Everton are always dangerous. Collins with the free kick. Up goes Ferguson again, and he hits the post this time. The mere presence of Duncan Ferguson is giving the Manchester United defence collywobbles. Beckham. Manchester United counter-attack. Blomqvist. Cadamatri quite literally getting to grips with him. Blomqvist makes the Everton defenders collide and keeps going and gets in a cross, which is blocked by Short. Exquisite skills from Jesper Blomqvist, a player that Manchester United chased for so long. But they've been chasing Duncan Ferguson again. They didn't grab a hold of him. And he forced Jaap Stam into heading the ball against his own post. Exactly the same spot that Craig Short scored the own goal in the first half. I'm sure Ferguson would have claimed it. Beckham's corner. Collins heads away. Keane back in. Away by Ferguson. Man for all positions at the moment. Bakayoko gets himself in a tangle. Everton escape through Decor. He can tackle and he's got a fair amount of skill as well, the Frenchman. It's a lovely ball through to Duncan Ferguson. Powers his way past Brown, but he's punished for that. Well, an unpopular decision at Goodison Park, but there was a trailing arm from Duncan Ferguson which made contact with Wes Brown. Convinced the referee there should be a free kick. Now Cole. Scrappy but exciting start to this second half. Blomqvist. Cole. Materazzi walks the ball out of defence. You can do that in Italy, but not in the Premiership. Now Short. Collins. Cadamatri. The game being played at a frantic pace. Cadamatri skips around Neville, puts in a good cross. Everybody flying, and it falls to Ferguson, to Collins! Oh, unlucky. Well, he didn't go for power, he went for precision. It's complete mayhem in the Manchester United penalty area. Beckham collides with Brown. Schmeichel chases the ball to the full extent of his 18-yard box, and the danger for the moment is over. Well, John Collins has scored once only for Everton, almost his second goal then, but for the post. Well, some may have gone to punch the ball, he just gave it a little waft. He could put more power into it, tried to get it around the might of Peter Schmeichel. Had beaten the Danish goalkeeper. But twice in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, Everton have had chances rebound back into play off the post. United weathered an early storm in the first half. They'd weathered an early flourish from Everton in the second. Now York, only just offside. I think it was a question of his big toe. The linesman was adamant that York was in an offside position. It did look as though Michael Ball on the far side of Everton's defence was keeping him in the legal position. Collins. He's admitted he's found it hard to get used to the pace of the English game after a long spell in France with Monaco. Cadamatri. Good challenge by Philip Neville. York. It's an off-the-ball incident between Keane and Cadamatri. Keane shrugs him off and continues playing. Now Beckham. Scholes had a quiet game. Went for the chip. Somebody's obviously told Manchester United that the Norwegian goalkeeper is vulnerable to the chip because they've attempted all kinds of shots from ridiculous positions. Gary Neville. Materazzi nods it back to Thomas Meyer, who's been the less troubled of the two goalkeepers. Really, Schmeichel's made a couple more saves and watched a couple fly off his post. Bakayoko. Ball's crossed. Bakayoko helps it on. Stam shin pads it away. Collins. Now Cadamatri. Short. Bakayoko, great skill. Oh, that was tremendous. Peter Schmeichel shrugs his shoulders, shakes his head. It was some skill which turned Jaap Stam and Roy Keane and forced an excellent save from Schmeichel again. Everton pack the penalty area. Ferguson up again. He does get ahead to the ball. It's Collins. Materatsi's cross. Just runs out of play, but another slight scare for Manchester United. Peter Schmeichel just happy to slow play down. Take the sting out of this ferocious start to the second half that Everton have made. Beckham. Stam. Keane. Intricate play from United. Scholes to York. Excellent play. Oh! Cole offside. That was more deserving as a tremendous pass and move from Manchester United, which started well inside their own half. Was he offside? Close decision. Linesman had the best view in the house. There have been some unexpected decisions from the referee and his assistants, but it's all added to the spice of the game. Everton defender looking for his goalkeeper, and Materazzi gets himself in a bit of a jumble, but he cleverly plays his way out of it. It's Collins to Unsworth. Ferguson on the run. He doesn't like to run too much. He likes it played to his chest, or preferably on his head. Dave Watson colliding with York. Referee giving the Everton veteran the benefit of the doubt. He's almost 37. His argument would have been that he's a bit slow to get to the ball. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, David Beckham's in trouble again. Almost coming to blows with David Unsworth. And David Unsworth endures his 4th yellow card of the season. Well, he went in with his left boot and his left arm. Caught Beckham at the top and bottom. Beckham hits it high, and there's a good call in the Everton defence to let it go for a goal kick. David Beckham quietly and efficiently getting on with his job at Manchester United. He did miss the European game against Brøndby a few days ago because of suspension. Stam. High foot from Dwight York. Couldn't be helped, but he did catch the forehead of Craig Short. Ian Wright has scored for West Ham United against Newcastle. Watson's kick. Ferguson plays it down. Bakayoko gets right under the feet of Neville, but Manchester United are defending manfully. The core. An untidy challenge from Paul Scholes, which, if the referee is consistent, will result in a yellow card. Well, it wasn't the worst challenge you'll see this Saturday afternoon, but the referee has come down very heavily on anybody who's stepped out of line. Paul Scholes follows Roy Keane and Gary Neville into the referee's little black book. Lots of pushing and shoving. But Schmeichel takes command of the area. Bakayoko speaks little English, so uses sign language to plead to the referee. We need 4 or 5 assistants to keep a track of what's going on in there. Ball's delivery off the back of Short's header, so it seemed. Philip Neville's boxed in, and more pressure is applied by Everton. No doubt, Ferguson with a man they're aiming for again. It is, he gets a header on goal, and, well, the unfortunate Craig Short whipped it wide from about 4 yards out. Would have been nice if Craig Short could have made up for that unfortunate own goal in the first half. He's put off by some brilliant defending by Wes Brown. Collins. Maybe fair to say the home side are having the better of the play in the second half. But Manchester United have a player extra in attack here. It's Blomqvist. Now Cole. No mistaking Andy Cole. That's why they pay him so much. And this season he is proving to be absolutely lethal. A dagger to the heart of Everton. Deft little touch from Blomqvist. Cole doesn't have to think about situations like that. A tremendous goal, a typical Andy Cole goal. Manchester United 3-1 up. And surely it's too far now for Everton to chase the game. Alex Ferguson's decision to select Cole alongside York, once more vindicated. 5 goals now in 5 games since his recall. Ferguson has always been a staunch supporter of Cole. 3-1 up. Everton started the second half so well. You can see there's an empty seat between the Everton coaches there, Chris Woods and Archie Knox. They're calling again for Walter Smith to come down and bring some inspiration to Everton from touchline level. Kadamatri forces a corner. Walter Smith had opted to watch most of the game from a high vantage point, but when his side went 2 early goals down, he came down, was called for in the first half, and again the asked for him to come down and orchestrate things at touchline level. Heads up down to Collins, who completely missed kicks. Beckham gets the ball to Keane. Now they have 2 spare men, Manchester United. Beckham plays it to Blomqvist. Surely it's going to score United's 4th. Great save. Not enough. 4-1 Manchester United. They're rampant. A moment which means an awful lot to Jesper Blomqvist. His first goal as a Manchester United player. Myra again unfortunate that he made a good save, and for the second time in the game it rebounded to a Manchester United player, and for the 4th time in the game Manchester United score. Manchester United summer signing scores his first goal. Poor old Thomas Myra was left with 3 Manchester United players bearing down and in no protection at all. Blomqvist was deadly. York to Cole. Philip Neville chases and he's won a corner. Well, Manchester United had only 2 goals against Bury in midweek, only 1 against Derby last week, but remember in the 3 games at the start of October they hit Southampton for 3, Wimbledon for 5 and Brøndby for 6. Beckham. Neville's shot hits the midriff of Michael Ball. Unsworth looks for support, doesn't get any. Bakayoko, no foul. Had a difficult afternoon, and the signals are that Bakayoko may be substituted in a moment. Brown. Beckham. York. This player slipping and sliding all over the place. Now Decor. Everton look completely bemused. They try to score a goal to restore some pride, or they just shut up shop at the back and try to limit the damage. Bakayoko to Collins. Well, it could have been so different had John Collins not hit the post earlier on, had it been a fraction to the left when he had a shot earlier in the game. His second attempt at goal in the game. A tactical substitution from Everton. They decided at the start of the game to go for the height and weight of Craig Short at right back ahead of Alex Cleland. Hasn't worked. Short was nowhere to be seen when Blomqvist scored that goal, and of course he had the Halloween howler, scoring the own goal, which resulted in Manchester United going 2 up early in the game. And Short is replaced by a young Republic of Ireland international, Richard Dunn. And an old Republic of Ireland international, Dennis Irwin, comes on, celebrating his 33rd birthday today with a comeback game. Been out for the last 4. He replaces Philip Neville. Scholes. Twist in the turn. Keane. Scholes to Brown. Good refereeing, allowing Brown to continue the run after it appeared that he was fouled by Unsworth. The second tackle was punished by the referee, Materazzi, the Italian hitman. Well, I think the offence was a 2-footed tackle. He won the ball, but he went in with both sets of studs showing. Materazzi. Union leader Duncan Ferguson asked for an explanation. Beckham's free kick. Heads go up. First to the ball was Roy Keane. Keane will feel a little bit of the blame for Duncan Ferguson's goal, which reignited the game in the first half. He was shrugged off in a challenge with Ferguson. Battled his way through there, but couldn't score the goal. The 5th for United. Decor. Collins to Unsworth. Now Ball. Collins to Ball. Ferguson's back flick. Dennis Irwin, sure-footed, clears the ball. Now Scholes to Blomqvist, who's floating on air after scoring his first United goal. Stam. York. Keane. David Beckham. Neatly headed back by the substitute Richard Dunn. Difficult for a young player to come back into the side in these circumstances. His side already 4-1 down. Yep, Stam. Not in the ball back. May have looked like a mistake, but it skimmed off his shiny forehead. Materazzi. Ferguson to Collins. Cadamatri. Now ball. Almost certain now that Everton's excellent run of 10 games unbeaten in all competitions is going to come to a dramatic halt. There's 7 league games, 7 Premiership games without defeat. But they were the draw experts. They'd only won 2 of the 15 league games. That was their best run in 2 years. They've been teased by Manchester United. Beckham's cross. Materazzi clears, only half clears. Unsworth twizzles and clears the ball only as far as Keane. York lays it off, foot in from Materazzi. Everton trying to limit the damage. Blomqvist, great turn, left the core on the seat of his pants, fires through Cole, who can't go around Thomas Myra. It's a sublime piece of skill from Blomqvist to free Andy Cole. You left Olivier Dacour sitting in the centre circle virtually, and it was only a footstep away from the marauding Andy Cole. Looking for his second goal of the game. Wimbledon have equalised against Blackburn Rovers. Marcus Gale, the scorer for Wimbledon. Collins to Bakayoko. Dacour. It's a long way round the legs of Jaap Stam. Beckham to York. Beckham to York again. To Keane. Materazzi reads it well. Everton haven't given up the fight, but well, when they started the game so well in the second half, it's cruel to say they've been outclassed. But Manchester United are in such control of the game. They absorbed all of the pressure. Maybe rode their luck a little bit as well when they saw a couple of chances crash off the post. But they have been absolutely clinical. West Ham United have increased the lead against Newcastle United. Trevor Sinclair has scored the second goal. Ian Wright scored the first. Manchester United were held to a draw at Upton Park. This should be their second away victory of the season. Look on the faces of the backroom staff of Everton says it all. There should be a wee dram in the manager's office after the game, shared between Walter Smith and his old pal Alex Ferguson. They've known each other for over 20 years. Alex Ferguson appointed Smith as his assistant when he became the Scottish national coach for a short spell in '86 for the Mexico World Cup. They were good friends before that. Their friendship forgotten for 90 minutes today. Walter Smith was teasing Alex Ferguson before the game, saying that in the regular five-a-side games they played, he could never remember Ferguson being on the winning side. Well, I think the Manchester United manager has the last laugh. Materazzi to Ferguson. Unsworth. Stam commanding. Rarely looks in trouble. Keane. Again, Blomqvist despair on this near side of the field. If Cole could have found him. The Everton defence seemed to congregate in the centre circle every time United attack, leaving Blomqvist an awful lot of space on the left wing. Dacour. A touch fortunate, but maybe he made his own luck. Now Collins. The luck is not on the side of Everton. Unsworth. Collins hasn't really imposed himself upon the game. Hasn't really settled into the Premiership the way that he and many expected. But a world-class player in the World Cup for Scotland, and Peter Schmeichel, who's undoubtedly world-class goalkeeper, was almost caught lead-footed by the cross from David Unsworth. Peter Schmeichel, it appears, back to his fittest after a couple of games out with the stomach strain. Whacks the ball forwards, and Andy Cole is the quickest man to react. He's right behind Materazzi. And again, Materazzi, the Italian defender, takes a risk or two, but gets himself out of a tricky situation. Well, there's something different, Marco Materazzi. Not too many Italian players have made it in the English leagues. They've had their troubles. He's come across, he doesn't speak the language. But Walter Smith is very keen to sign him. He beat Lazio to his signature. Ferguson to Cadamatri. Schmeichel stays in his line. Bakayoko fights. Falls to Ferguson. Had to react pretty quickly. Well, when Walter Smith gives the players the after-match team talk, I'm sure it won't be too much of a dressing down. The Everton spirit has been personified by Duncan Ferguson, but ultimately they haven't had the class of Manchester United. Irwin. Dwight York hustles and bustles and plays it to Blomqvist. Irwin. York turning. David Watson. Blomqvist. Fouled by Decor. He's managed to get through 85 minutes of the game without a yellow card. Almost a record for him. The referee believes the free kick is adequate punishment. Could be major punishment because it's David Beckham. He's taking responsibility for the kick. Three-man wall does appear to be a little bit meagre. Beckham takes it. Beckham almost scores. He found a gap in the wall. Did take a slight deflection. David Beckham again, almost lethal from distance. He's scored 3 long ranges already this season, and a memorable long ranger in the World Cup finals as well for England against Colombia. Beckham's corner. Ferguson wins the header. Touch of panic in the Everton defence. They edge it to the halfway line. It's Brown. Materazzi to Bakayoko. Fourth official has indicated there'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time to be added on. Michael Ball. D'accord attempts the shot. 2 minutes to go. Desperate stuff from Everton, or 2 minutes of stoppage time plus a minute and a half of regulation time. Keane. Stam. Materazzi. Anywhere will do, as long as it's another Manchester United player. Gives it to Beckham, who gives it to Cole. And Dave Watson, who doubles up as club captain, first-team coach, and a central defender, nips in. Prevents Cole scoring his second of the game. Brown. D'accord for Everton. I'm sure neither manager would quibble if the full-time whistle were blown without the 2 minutes of stoppage time being added. The bad news for Everton is that their next game is against Arsenal, away from home. Dunn to Collins. All over the top, and Bakayoko's chasing it. Gets the right side or the wrong side, depending which way you look at it, to Dennis Irwin, and Gary Neville goes to ground. And some half-hearted appeals from the Everton fans, and Peter Schmeichel, the Manchester United goalkeeper, is having a word with the referee because a couple of missiles have been thrown onto the pitch from the goal behind Schmeichel. Well, needless really, and goalkeepers have had their troubles at Goodison Park this season. Mark Bosnich, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, was cleared this week of making comments to some of the Everton fans behind that goal. That is ridiculous. There are half a dozen plastic bottles being thrown onto the field. It's needless. It's just prolonging the agony for the Everton players and supporters. And the referee, Mr. Jones, heads across and asks the fourth official to step up the security behind Peter Schmeichel's goal. Maybe it would be in everybody's interests if the referee blew the final whistle now. Job well done for Manchester United. Peter Schmeichel wisely staying right at the edge of his area, away from missile distance. Keane. Beckham to Keane. To Brown. Beckham to Scholes. Danger everywhere you look at this Manchester United team. But Scholes attempts the fifth, saved by the post. Blomqvist tiptoes through a minefield in there, plays it into Cole. Falls to Beckham, who stabs it in, and Myra makes a save in the 47th minute of the game. Stops it being 5-1. Well, all of David Beckham's goals this season have been long range. That was his first toe poke in the penalty area. And the referee brings Everton's agony to an end. Another exemplary performance from Manchester United. They rode their luck, but they were given an early lead from Dwight Yorke. Again, lethal in attack with Andy Cole. Cole really scoring the killer goal for Manchester United, just as Everton thought they were fighting their way back into the game. But Cole's fifth goal in 5 games in a partnership with Dwight Yorke. They've scored 9 goals between them in 5 matches. I think they're the first choice partnership now. Manchester United increasing the pressure on Aston Villa above them in the Premiership. Everton did score their first home goal of the season through Duncan Ferguson. It wasn't enough. Their run of 10 unbeaten games comes to an end. Quite bluntly, Everton were outclassed this afternoon by their northwest rivals Manchester United. The final score at Goodison Park